My name is Joe Condon.
My name is Eileen Condon.
The farm, I suppose it's a hill farm. It's located in South Tipperary in the Knockmealdown Mountains. The land runs onto the Waterford border, so we're very close to the Waterford border here as well. One of the unique features of this farm is that it's commonage, which means that there's approximately 2,000 acres here, and that system is a very old system where a group of farmers work together and utilise that entire area of land through what's known as a share system. It works very, very well in this area here. I suppose maybe at a technical level or a regulation level, maybe if you were to start this off today, it wouldn't be possible to do it. There's wisdom in these old systems. I believe that they should be left untouched. So when it's working, if it ain't broke, they say, don't fix it. We're very proud of the system of a commonage system. We think it's an absolutely brilliant, old, wise idea, where people can work collectively together, but also retain their individuality. I don't think it's possible in any other walk of life in present time. Very, very little conflict, and it works. Behind me here is a small area fenced off to keep livestock out, and within that area there's 4 beehives. And at the moment, those bees are going to be working the heather that's just coming into flower on the mountain at the moment. The 2 main types of heather here are ling and bell heather. Research has shown that the heather that's collected in these type of areas is of a similar nature to Manuka honey that is brought in from New Zealand. So it would make sense for me that people would buy their local honeys rather than shipping honey all the ways across. I don't know how many thousand miles it is. In this area that we're standing in here right now, just even in front of the hives, this has been grazed by cattle. There's a millennia type of grass there that has been grazed. Also, if you look closer, we'll say there's a sphagnum type of moss down here. This moss absorbs carbon out of the atmosphere and helps sequester carbon. So, it has been grazed. The moss is still in pristine condition. So the cattle grazing at light densities is very good for the area. Grazes off the old millennia and then helps to keep the understory working and as biodiverse as possible. I suppose one of the most significant impacts that is easily noticeable since cattle started grazing on this area is if you just look at this fence here. It's been fenced out for a particular reason, but on one side of it the cattle have no access to it, and on this side they've been grazing it. There's a distinct difference. The bracken on this side has been trampled. There's only a tiny amount still growing, but on the other side it's quite profuse, and it's just a small area. Eventually there will be cattle going in there, but for the moment they're not, and it's just it gives an example, I think, of the positive effects of cattle grazing on these areas. Bracken is an invasive species. Underneath the understory of bracken, the grasses won't survive, and eventually you'll be down to bare soil, which possibly from a biodiversity point of view is not good, and also maybe from a climate point of view, because all that carbon is being released out of the soil as the grasses can't compete with the power of the bracken plant. At the moment the animals are behind you and they're grazing on the higher parts of the hill. They will stay there maybe until late October. They will come down into the lower parts of the lower parts of the upland area then, and as the weather gets more inclement during the winter, I will take them in here into this land that we're standing on now. Some of the younger stock will come in a little bit earlier. After Christmas, the mature cows will be taken in here and grazed here. And that cycle then will go on until about maybe April, where they will be left back out to the hill again as the hill is coming back into grazing, late April, early May. That's usually the cycle. What we have here, we'll say, is the system that we use to ship out burgers through a courier system. The orders come in online, and we have a PayPal set up on our website, and the person pays through that. Right? I have a contract with a courier company, and the courier company delivers. If it goes out at 6 o'clock in the evening, it's delivered probably by 9 o'clock maybe the next morning. These burgers here are for the urban co-op in Limerick, and a market that has opened up there is for what's known as keto friendly. It's a particular style of maybe, I wouldn't call it a diet as such, but there's people who absolutely believe in the ability of grass-fed fat to have a beneficial effect on the health, on gut health particularly, and so that's you know, a new area that came to us. Like we'll say, like somebody asked us, would we supply that type of product, and the ability of it was there.
We feel grateful to be farming this land. We don't feel hard done by or want it to be anything else other than it is. And by looking at a place like that, you can make it a very enjoyable experience. You can see the benefits that are there, and you can capitalize on what the land can naturally produce in sync with nature, rather than trying to manipulate nature to give you something that, you know, isn't naturally there.